The power within you. Conscious creation. Introduction. Your mind is a powerful force, constantly shaping the world around you, even when you are unaware of its influence. It works tirelessly day and night, molding your reality according to the thoughts you entertain and the emotions you nurture. The key to transforming your life lies not in external circumstances, but in the inner landscape of your mind. You hold within you the power to change the narrative, to redefine your experiences, and to manifest the reality that aligns with your highest aspirations. You might have noticed how certain thoughts linger, replaying themselves repeatedly, almost as if they have a life of their own. These recurring thoughts are not mere coincidences. They are patterns of belief that have taken root in your subconscious, guiding your actions and influencing your outcomes. The mind, when left unchecked, can become a breeding ground for doubt and limitation. But once you take charge, once you intentionally guide your thoughts toward positivity and growth, you will witness a remarkable shift in your reality. Think about the times when your intentions were clear, your emotions were harmonious, and your actions were purposeful. During those moments, life seemed to flow effortlessly, as if the universe was working in unison with your desires. This alignment is not a matter of chance, but the natural outcome of understanding and utilizing the spiritual laws that govern reality. When you master these principles, you no longer feel like a victim of circumstances, but rather an empowered creator of your own destiny. Developing self-awareness is the first step on your path to realizing your dream life. You need to learn to be a careful custodian of your thoughts, letting only those that are most beneficial to you grow. Because the mind has been trained to function automatically due to societal conditioning and prior experiences, this exercise may initially appear difficult. You may, however, teach your mind to think deliberately by substituting affirmations that represent your ideal world for negative thought patterns. It is crucial to develop an attitude of curiosity and openness, enabling you to challenge ideas that no longer benefit you. Maybe you've been taught that happiness is a transient sensation that depends on outside circumstances, or that success is only for a chosen few. These limiting ideas have the potential to keep you stuck in a vicious cycle of dread and self-doubt. You create room for new, empowered thoughts to replace them when you decide to let go of them. Although this change takes time, every little change in perspective gets you one step closer to living the life you really want. The fact that your emotions are signs of your alignment with your inner truth, rather than merely responses to outside events, is among the most profound realizations you will experience on this trip. Your thoughts are in alignment with the mission of your soul when you experience happiness, satisfaction, and serenity. On the other hand, when you feel resentment, annoyance, or anxiety, it's a chance to stop and consider the ideas that are causing these feelings. You may actively influence your emotional state and the energy you send into the world by making the intentional decision to think positive and empowering thoughts. You will learn more about how to use the power of your mind as you investigate the 7 secrets to manifesting your reality. Every principle presents a different angle on how to match your feelings, ideas, and behavior with the universe's organic flow. You will gain the ability to act honorably, feel purposeful, and think clearly, a practical style of living that recognizes the connection between your inner world and the reality you experience. This harmonious approach to life is not a magical idea. Realizing that you are an essential component of the universe's creative process, rather than something distinct from it, has tremendous power. Your ideas are like seeds that have been sown in the rich soil of consciousness and are only waiting to grow into real experiences. These seeds sprout into the life you have in mind when you tend to them with love, positivity, and steadfast faith. On the other hand, challenges and disappointments will arise if you let fear and uncertainty take hold. You always have the option of letting weeds of limitation take over or growing a garden of possibilities. Imagine yourself at peace with your thoughts, confidently directing your mind toward abundance and fulfillment. Visualize your dreams unfolding naturally, guided by your unwavering focus and intention. As you practice this mindset, you will notice synchronicities appearing in your life, moments when the universe seems to conspire in your favor. These experiences are not random. They are the direct result of your intentional living, proof that your mind is capable of influencing the reality you encounter. Throughout this audiobook, you will be invited to practice self-reflection, to engage with exercises designed to strengthen your inner awareness, and to implement practical techniques for manifesting your dreams. You will learn how to set pure intentions, cultivate emotional resilience, and take conscious actions that resonate with your highest values. This journey is not about perfection, but about progress, evolving into the best version of yourself, one thought, one feeling, and one action at a time. You will have the skills necessary to face life's obstacles with poise and purpose after listening to this audiobook. You'll realize that obstacles are chances for development rather than failures. You'll accept that you have the ability to truly, genuinely, and lovingly influence your own fate. Most significantly, you will realize that your mind is a boundless wellspring of possibilities that may design a happy and meaningful life. This is the start of your change. Step bravely along the path of conscious creation with an open heart and a clear mind. You possess the ability to awaken your inner force and bring about the reality that embodies your most profound aspirations. Allow this trip to lead you to a place where you, as the architect of your own fate, live with passion and purpose, and where your thoughts, feelings, and deeds are in harmony with the universe. Your thoughts are prepared, your spirit is eager, you've started your trip. Chapter 1. The Power of Thought. Crafting your inner reality. Your thoughts are more than mere reflections of your mood or reactions to the world around you. They are the architects of your reality, shaping your life in ways that often go unnoticed. To truly harness the power of your thoughts, you must first acknowledge that they are not random occurrences. They are deliberate choices shaped by your beliefs, experiences, and the stories you tell yourself. When you realize this, you gain the ability to consciously direct your thoughts toward outcomes that serve your growth and well-being. This requires you to become the observer of your mind, noticing when old patterns resurface and choosing to replace them with thoughts that reflect your highest potential. It is an ongoing process of awareness and adjustment, but it is the foundation of true transformation. One of the most significant shifts you can make is learning to identify thought patterns that limit you. These patterns often stem from past experiences where you felt powerless or unworthy. Over time, they become ingrained, creating a default mode where doubt and fear govern your actions. You might not even realize how much these thoughts influence your decisions until you start paying close attention. Start by journaling your thoughts, especially when you feel stuck or overwhelmed. Write down what you are thinking in those moments. Are the thoughts supportive and encouraging, or do they reflect self-judgment and defeat? Once you see these patterns on paper, they become more tangible, and you can challenge them. Question their validity. Are they rooted in truth, or are they outdated narratives that no longer serve your present self? In this journey of thought mastery, affirmations become invaluable tools. An affirmation is not just a positive statement, it is a declaration of your intention to break free from limiting beliefs. It is important to craft affirmations that resonate deeply with your aspirations. Instead of saying, "I am successful," which might feel abstract, try, "I am actively creating opportunities for my success every day." This version acknowledges your role in the process, making it more relatable and actionable. Consistency is key when working with affirmations. Repeating them daily, preferably in the morning or before sleep, helps to embed them into your subconscious mind. Speak them with conviction, not as mere words but as a truth you are embodying. The energy you put into your affirmations directly impacts their effectiveness. Combine them with visualization, seeing yourself living in alignment with the affirmation, and feel the emotions associated with that reality. Another transformative practice is thought redirection. When you catch yourself dwelling on a negative thought, consciously shift your focus to something that uplifts you. This might seem challenging at first, especially if the negative thought feels justified or familiar. However, the goal is not to deny your feelings, but to choose how you respond to them. Acknowledge the thought, understand why it surfaced, and then decide to replace it with one that aligns with your desired reality. The people you surround yourself with also influence your thought patterns. Notice how your mindset shifts depending on the company you keep. Are there individuals who consistently drain your energy or reinforce negative beliefs? While it is not always possible to distance yourself from everyone who impacts you negatively, it is crucial to protect your mental space. Limit interactions that leave you feeling depleted and actively seek out those who inspire and support your journey. Sometimes your environment itself can trigger old thought patterns. Decluttering your space and adding elements that reflect your growth, like vision boards or motivational quotes, can serve as subtle reminders to maintain a positive mental state. Your surroundings are an extension of your mind. Keeping them aligned with your goals creates a supportive atmosphere for personal transformation. Meditation is another vital practice in thought management. Sitting in silence, observing your thoughts without attachment, helps you recognize patterns without being consumed by them. As you become more skilled at observing your thoughts, you develop the ability to choose which ones to engage with and which to let pass. This practice strengthens your mental discipline, giving you greater control over how your thoughts shape your reality. It is essential to be patient with yourself throughout this process. Mastering your thoughts does not mean achieving perfection, but building resilience and awareness. There will be days when old patterns resurface or when negative thoughts dominate. Rather than criticizing yourself for these moments, use them as opportunities to practice compassion. Remind yourself that growth is not linear, and every effort to redirect your thoughts is a step towards greater empowerment. When you commit to thought mastery, you gradually become attuned to how your inner world influences your external experiences. You notice synchronicities appearing as your mindset shifts. The opportunities you once thought impossible now seem within reach because your perception has changed. This is not magic. It is the natural result of aligning your mental state with your desired reality. Empowered thinking is not just about being optimistic. It is about consciously choosing thoughts that support your purpose. It is the practice of seeing potential where others see obstacles and maintaining faith in yourself even when the journey feels uncertain. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your life. By choosing them wisely, you build a foundation rooted in possibility, resilience, and intentional growth. Let go of the belief that your thoughts are beyond your control. Embrace the truth that you are capable of shaping them deliberately. As you move forward, remember that every positive thought, no matter how small, contributes to the larger tapestry of your reality. Choose thoughts that reflect the person you aspire to be, and with time your outer world will transform to match the inner vision you cultivate. Your thoughts are the most intimate connection you have with your potential. Honor them, nurture them, and guide them toward the life you deserve. Your mind is your greatest ally when you learn to direct its power with intention and clarity. The path to creating your desired reality begins with the simple yet profound act of thinking differently. Chapter 2. The Resonance of Emotion, Aligning Your Heart and Mind. Sometimes the most profound transformation occurs when you simply allow yourself to feel without resistance. Too often, we label emotions as good or bad, desirable or shameful. In doing so, we inadvertently create internal conflict, as if certain feelings are unworthy of our acceptance. However, every emotion serves a purpose, even those that are uncomfortable or painful. Embracing your entire emotional spectrum without judgment is a powerful act of self-acceptance. It tells your subconscious mind that you are safe to experience your feelings without fear of rejection. To practice this, consider setting aside a few minutes each day for emotional check-ins. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what am I truly feeling right now? Allow whatever arises to surface without forcing or filtering it. Whether it is joy, sadness, anger, or confusion, acknowledge it as part of your current reality. Breathe through the sensation, reminding yourself that it is temporary and part of the human experience. The more you practice this non-judgmental awareness, the more your emotional intelligence will grow, allowing you to navigate your inner landscape with grace. In moments when emotions seem overwhelming, seek grounding through sensory engagement. Touch something tangible, a smooth stone, a piece of fabric, or even the earth itself. Focus on the texture, temperature, and weight. By anchoring your awareness in the physical present, you create a pause that calms the emotional storm. This simple yet effective technique helps regulate your emotional response, giving you a moment to choose how you want to proceed. Another powerful practice for emotional alignment is mindful communication. Emotions often become intensified when they are not expressed constructively. Practice articulating your feelings honestly yet thoughtfully. Instead of saying, "You make me angry," which places blame, try expressing, "I feel hurt when this happens." This subtle shift takes ownership of your emotions while inviting dialogue rather than confrontation. Communicating with honesty and compassion not only nurtures your relationships, but also empowers you to express your truth without fear. It is essential to differentiate between feeling your emotions and being consumed by them. There is a difference between acknowledging sadness and allowing it to define your entire perspective. When you catch yourself dwelling excessively on one emotion, consciously broaden your focus. Engage in activities that shift your state. Listen to uplifting music, read something inspiring, or move your body. Sometimes the act of doing something different breaks the cycle of emotional fixation. Self-awareness also means recognizing when your emotions are influenced by external factors. Social media, news, and even other people's energy can significantly impact how you feel. Be mindful of how much external input you allow into your emotional space. Set boundaries to protect your peace and give yourself permission to disconnect when needed. Choosing what you expose yourself to is an act of self-respect, honoring your emotional well-being. When working through deep-seated emotions, consider using affirmations specifically designed to address your current state. For example, if you are struggling with self-doubt, affirm, "I am worthy of love and success, and I trust my journey." Repeat this with conviction, allowing the words to resonate within you. Pairing affirmations with deep breathing enhances their impact as your nervous system relaxes, making it easier for your subconscious to accept the new belief. Engaging with your emotions creatively can also be a powerful method of processing. Write poetry that captures your feelings, paint with colors that match your mood, or compose music that reflects your inner state. These creative outlets do more than just express emotion. They transform it into something tangible and beautiful, giving you a sense of accomplishment even in vulnerable moments. Sometimes, sharing your emotional journey with others who understand can offer immense relief. Seek support from a community or a trusted friend who listens without judgment. Speaking openly about your struggles lightens the emotional load and reminds you that you are not alone. Human connection is a natural balm for emotional wounds, helping you feel seen and valued. As you continue your journey toward emotional mastery, remember that progress is not always linear. There will be days when old patterns resurface or when unexpected triggers challenge your composure. During such times, be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge the progress you have made and the effort you put into growing. Celebrate even the smallest victories, for they are the building blocks of lasting change. You will observe a change in your approach to life's obstacles as you gain experience. You will find yourself stopping, thinking, and selecting a response that is consistent with your values instead of responding on the spur of the moment. Even in the midst of chaos, this deliberate approach to managing emotions fosters inner serenity. You become more resilient by learning to flow with your emotions without losing your center, not by avoiding them. In the end, your feelings serve as a guide for your journey of self-discovery. They make your deepest aspirations, unfulfilled wants, and unsaid truths visible. You may turn emotional upheaval into a source of strength by accepting them with kindness and interest. You become more willing to live genuinely, more conscious of your ability to influence your experiences, and more in tune with your inner self. Make the decision to respect your emotional reality each day. Instead of letting your emotions steer you, let them serve as a compass. You will find that your heart and mind can live in harmony as you work on this intentional alignment, one helping the other on your path to becoming your best self. Chapter 3. The Purity of Intent. Crafting your reality with clarity. It's crucial to keep in mind that setbacks do not equal failure when engaging in pure purpose practice. The road to your intended result may occasionally involve obstacles designed to fortify your determination and hone your mission. Consider these challenges as chances to strengthen your dedication rather than as indications that your goals are faulty. You can learn patience, adaptation, and resilience from every setback. I am committed to my journey, and I trust the process is one of the most potent affirmations you can employ when you're feeling uncertain. In addition to reaffirming your commitment, this remark serves as a reminder that the journey itself is worthwhile independent of the outcome right away. Every time you feel overburdened or unsure, repeat it and let it help you rediscover your sense of direction. Maintaining pure focus requires forming a practice of mindful self-talk. When considering your objectives, be mindful of the language you employ. Do you present them in a way that implies ambiguity or unavoidability? Reword it to read, "When I achieve this," rather than, "If I achieve this." Small linguistic changes have a big impact on how your subconscious interprets your dedication. The quality of your relationships also influences the purity of your intentions. Surround yourself with individuals who support your growth and believe in your potential. Negative influences can cloud your intent, introducing doubt and resistance. Protect your energy by choosing to engage with those who inspire positivity and motivation. If you find that certain relationships consistently undermine your intentions, it may be time to reassess their role in your life. Cultivating gratitude during your intention-setting practice amplifies your vibrational frequency. Gratitude is more than just a positive feeling. It is an active state of acknowledging the blessings already present. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you create an energetic space for more abundance to flow into your life. Begin each intention-setting session by expressing gratitude for past achievements and the lessons learned through adversity. This mindset fosters an open, receptive state, making your intentions more powerful and aligned. At times, you may encounter conflicting intentions where part of you desires one outcome while another part holds on to an opposing belief. This internal conflict can create stagnation and frustration. To resolve it, practice inner dialogue, where you address the conflicting parts of yourself with compassion. Allow each aspect to express its perspective without judgment, and find common ground where your intentions can coexist harmoniously. This process not only clarifies your true desires, but also unifies your mental and emotional energy, strengthening your overall resolve. Practice visualization as a continuous mentality, as well as a solitary exercise to better strengthen pure purpose. As you go about your day, see yourself exhibiting the traits required to achieve your goal. Imagine yourself overcoming obstacles with poise, staying focused and acknowledging your accomplishments. By maintaining your intention, this continuous vision strengthens your dedication to even the most routine chores. The intention anchor is one useful method. Select a little item like a pendant or stone that you can carry with you. Through meditation, infuse it with your intention and hold it while concentrating on your objective. Every time you see or touch this item during the day, it acts as a reminder of your dedication. This tangible anchor helps you stay focused and grounded, especially when you're distracted or unsure. To remove mental clutter that can obstruct pure intent, engage in mindfulness exercises. It gets simpler to identify when your thoughts go toward uncertainty or anxiety, the more present you are. You can learn to gently and judgment-free refocus your attention back to your objective by practicing mindfulness. The goal of this exercise is to choose to focus your energy where it will best serve your purpose, not to repress bad thoughts. It's crucial to frequently reaffirm your intentions as you advance. Your priorities vary as your life does. Instead of strictly adhering to past objectives, consider whether they still align with your current self. In order to allow for growth, revise your ambitions to match your present situation. This adaptability does not imply giving up on goals from the past, but rather recognizing that change is necessary for progress. Making a vision board or other visual depiction of your goals aids in keeping you focused. Gather words, pictures, and symbols that represent your objectives and post them on a board so you can see them every day. Keep your thoughts actively focused on the energy of manifestation by using this visual signal to serve as a reminder of your goals. Pure aim sometimes necessitates stepping outside of your comfort zone. Growth frequently necessitates breaking established routines or taking intimidating risks. Accept this discomfort as an indication that you are transcending your boundaries. Lean into the problem rather than running away, because you know that every step you take, no matter how uncertain, will get you one step closer to your goal. Being kind to yourself when progress is sluggish is another aspect of maintaining pure intent. Setbacks are a normal part of the process, and the path to manifestation is rarely straight. When things do not go as planned, do not fall into the trap of blaming yourself. Rather, cultivate self-compassion by recognizing your resilience and effort. This kind of thinking lifts your spirits and keeps you going in spite of setbacks. Allow your goals to become a fundamental aspect of who you are. Rather than considering them as distinct objectives to accomplish, make them a part of your everyday behavior and mindset. Your intentions cease to feel like far-off dreams and instead become organic manifestations of your true self when they are in harmony with your inner self. This integration creates a feeling of ease that makes manifestation possible without effort or resistance. Lastly, acknowledge and celebrate all of your accomplishments. Your idea that you can influence your world is strengthened when you acknowledge your progress. Whether it's reaching a significant objective or just remaining dedicated during difficult times, respect your path. Your motivation is bolstered by these celebrations, which serve as a reminder that every endeavor advances your development. Living with pure intent is coordinating your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with your core beliefs throughout your life. It's about living with meaning and letting your inner truth direct your decisions. You become a creator of your reality and a source of authenticity and meaning for everyone around you when you stay in this alignment. Be patient and persistent as you continue to cultivate pure intent. Allow it to serve as your motivation to live a life that is a reflection of your best self. Have faith that your commitment and the universe's help will bring you the fulfillment you desire. Chapter 4. The Grace of Acceptance, Embracing What Is and Moving Forward. Acceptance also means learning to coexist with uncertainty. Often we resist situations not because they are inherently difficult, but because they introduce a sense of unpredictability. The human mind craves stability and assurance, but life rarely offers such guarantees. By accepting uncertainty as an intrinsic part of existence, you liberate yourself from the need to have everything figured out. One way to practice this acceptance is through the concept of radical acceptance. This means acknowledging your reality without adding narratives of blame or self-pity. It requires courage to say, "This is my current situation, and while I may not like it, I choose to face it without denial." This mindset does not prevent you from seeking change. Rather, it grounds you in the truth of the moment, allowing you to make more thoughtful decisions. Sometimes acceptance is about making peace with unresolved situations. There may be people who hurt you without offering an apology, or events that left you questioning your worth. Holding on to the need for closure can trap you in a cycle of rumination and pain. Instead, practice accepting the situation as it is, without demanding a resolution. Let go of the expectation that others will validate your experience or make amends. By choosing to heal without external validation, you reclaim your power. Another profound aspect of acceptance is releasing perfectionism. Striving for excellence is admirable, but when perfection becomes the standard, it leads to chronic dissatisfaction. Acceptance means recognizing your humanity, the capacity to make mistakes, to falter, and to grow through imperfection. It means celebrating progress rather than fixating on perceived flaws. To practice this, set realistic expectations for yourself. Acknowledge that perfection is an illusion and that doing your best is enough. When you fall short, treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. Instead of criticizing your efforts, reflect on what you learned and how you can apply it moving forward. This shift from self-judgment to self-compassion nurtures a healthier, more sustainable approach to personal growth. In moments of doubt, remind yourself that acceptance is not a final destination. but an evolving practice. There will be days when resistance feels overwhelming, and that is okay. Give yourself permission to feel frustrated or disappointed, but do not allow these emotions to dictate your actions. Return to your practice with patience, knowing that every effort strengthens your ability to embrace life as it unfolds. Acceptance also requires letting go of the illusion of control over others. You cannot dictate how people behave, think, or feel. Trying to change someone else's choices is not only futile, but also detrimental to your own peace. Instead, focus on your responses and how you choose to interact with the situation. By relinquishing control over others, you conserve your energy for positive, self-affirming actions. Develop acceptance by engaging in mindfulness exercises. You can learn to notice your ideas without becoming attached to them by practicing mindfulness. When confronted with a difficult circumstance, take a moment to observe your initial responses. Are they motivated by insecurity, rage, or fear? Allow these emotions to pass and acknowledge them without passing judgment. This small act of awareness gives you the clarity to respond rather than react by separating your feelings from your behavior. Look to nature for inspiration when acceptance seems especially difficult. See how rivers flow around obstructions, how trees sway in the wind, and how flowers bloom in spite of adversity. Acceptance is effortlessly embodied by nature, which changes without struggle. Go for a stroll outside and let yourself be enchanted by this innate knowledge. Allow the peace of your environment to serve as a reminder that acceptance is a state of being, not a mentality. You can further develop your practice by sharing your journey with others. Speak with someone who has experienced comparable difficulties and hear their viewpoint. Hearing about other people's experiences, overcoming obstacles, might occasionally provide insightful information and motivation. Speaking out loud about your feelings might also help you make sense of them and make acceptance easier. As you integrate acceptance into your daily life, practice celebrating your resilience. Acknowledge the courage it takes to face reality without resistance. Recognize that choosing acceptance does not mean you are weak or passive. On the contrary, it signifies a commitment to living authentically without hiding from discomfort or adversity. By embracing what is, you empower yourself to shape your path with wisdom and clarity. Let acceptance guide your interactions. Instead of reacting defensively when someone challenges your beliefs, pause and listen. Try to understand their perspective without immediately countering it. Acceptance does not mean agreeing with everyone, but it does involve respecting diverse viewpoints without letting them threaten your sense of self. This approach fosters meaningful connections and reduces conflict. Acceptance is also about honoring your journey, including the mistakes and failures that shaped you. Too often we view setbacks as indications of inadequacy rather than as integral parts of our growth. Practice accepting your past without shame. Reflect on how each experience, whether joyful or painful, contributed to the person you are today. By embracing your history, you transform regret into gratitude for the lessons learned. As you continue this practice, you may notice a shift in how you approach challenges. Instead of immediately seeking solutions, you first acknowledge the reality of the situation. This acceptance creates a calm foundation from which creative problem-solving naturally emerges. You become less reactive, more thoughtful, and better equipped to navigate complexity. Finally, let acceptance nurture your spirit. Release the belief that happiness depends on external circumstances being perfect. Instead, cultivate contentment by embracing the imperfections of life. Celebrate the small moments of joy, the simple pleasures, and the progress you make, even if it feels incremental. Acceptance allows you to find peace, not only in success but also in the process of becoming. As you practice acceptance daily, you will find that your heart softens and your mind becomes more flexible. You are no longer trapped in the cycle of wishing things were different. Instead, you are grounded in the reality of the present, fully aware of your capacity to respond with grace and strength. Acceptance is not surrendering your dreams. It is creating the mental and emotional space needed to pursue them without attachment. Embrace acceptance as a lifelong companion on your journey of self-discovery. Let it teach you resilience, patience, and the art of living with an open heart. Through acceptance, You transform resistance into peace and judgment into compassion. You become not only a seeker of truth, but also a practitioner of wisdom, navigating life with the grace of one who understands that true strength lies in embracing what is. Chapter 5. The Power of Letting Go. Finding Freedom Through Release. Letting go also involves releasing attachments to specific identities or roles that no longer define you. Sometimes we cling to a version of ourselves because it feels familiar, even if it no longer aligns with who we are becoming. Perhaps you were once the overachiever, the caretaker, or the one who always put others first. While these roles may have served you in the past, they can become limiting when they no longer reflect your authentic self. Releasing old identities requires courage, because it often means facing the fear of being judged or misunderstood. You may worry that people will no longer value or recognize you if you change. However, true growth demands that you shed outdated roles to embrace a more authentic version of yourself. Letting go of these identities does not erase your past. It simply makes room for the person you are evolving into. Reflect on the labels you have internalized. Are you still defining yourself by past achievements or mistakes? Are you holding on to a narrative that no longer serves your happiness? Challenge these perceptions by asking, who am I without this label? Give yourself permission to exist beyond the confines of past identities, trusting that your worth is not tied to how others perceive you. Another powerful aspect of letting go is releasing the stories you tell yourself about your limitations. Often we internalize beliefs that keep us small, convinced that we are not capable of more. These stories may have been shaped by childhood experiences, societal expectations, or past failures. Letting go of these limiting beliefs means questioning their validity and choosing to rewrite your narrative. To practice this, create a list of self-limiting statements you often repeat. For each one, write a counterstatement that affirms your potential. For example, replace "I am not good enough" with "I am constantly growing and I am worthy of success." Read these affirmations daily, allowing them to reshape your internal dialogue. Over time, you will notice a shift in how you perceive yourself and your abilities. Letting go also means releasing attachments to perfection. Perfectionism often stems from a fear of inadequacy, where anything less than flawless feels like failure. However, perfection is an illusion, and striving for it can lead to burnout and dissatisfaction. Embrace the idea that doing your best is enough. Allow yourself to make mistakes, learn from them, and move forward without carrying guilt. Accept that life itself is imperfect. Plans may fall through, people may disappoint you, and not everything will go as intended. By letting go of the expectation that things must always work out flawlessly, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Instead, adopt a mindset of flexibility, viewing challenges as opportunities to adapt and grow. Letting go also extends to material possessions. Sometimes we accumulate items that hold sentimental value or remind us of past achievements. While it is important to honor your memories, holding on to every object from the past can clutter your living space and your mind. Practice decluttering as a symbolic act of letting go. Donate, recycle, or dispose of items that no longer serve a purpose in your current life. This process is not just about physical space. It reflects your willingness to release emotional attachments that weigh you down. As you create a more open, organized environment, you will notice how your mental clarity improves as well. Clearing your physical space becomes a metaphor for letting go of emotional baggage, allowing you to move through life with greater ease. In relationships, letting go sometimes means releasing the need to fix or change others. You may feel responsible for helping someone overcome their struggles, but ultimately, growth is a personal journey. Accept that you cannot force someone to change if they are not ready. By releasing the need to control their choices, you respect their autonomy while conserving your own energy. This does not mean you abandon loved ones when they are struggling. Rather, it means offering support without taking on the responsibility for their healing. Set boundaries that protect your well-being while still showing compassion. Understand that sometimes the most loving act is allowing others to face their challenges on their own terms. Letting go of resentment is equally important. Holding on to grudges only ties you to past hurts, preventing you from experiencing joy in the present. Practice forgiveness, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve freedom from the weight of bitterness. Imagine the relief of setting down a heavy load you have carried for too long. Forgiveness is that act of release, liberating your spirit from the past. One powerful affirmation to support this process is, I release resentment and open my heart to peace. Say it daily, especially when memories of hurt resurface. Over time, you will feel the emotional burden lighten, replaced by a sense of calm and acceptance. To strengthen the ability to let go, cultivate thankfulness. Instead of concentrating on what you have lost, consider what you have acquired from previous struggles. Gratitude helps you see the good parts of your path by changing your viewpoint from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Expressing thankfulness keeps your heart open to new experiences, whether they are lessons learned or an unanticipated opportunity that came about as a result of adversity. Letting go does not imply ignoring or disregarding your difficulties. It is deciding not to allow them to control your present or future. It is a pledge to honor yourself by getting rid of things that no longer serve you, and a commitment to your well-being. This act of release indicates your desire to move forward with a lighter heart, and is not a sign of defeat, but rather of strength. As you practice letting go, you will find that life becomes less burdensome. You approach each day with a sense of possibility rather than dread. Your relationships become more harmonious because you no longer hold on to past grievances. Most importantly, you discover that your happiness is not contingent on external circumstances, but rooted in your willingness to embrace change. Letting go is a continuous journey, but with each step, you reclaim a part of yourself that was lost in holding on. Embrace the freedom that comes from releasing fear, regret, and control. Trust that as you let go, you create space for peace, growth, and new beginnings. Chapter 6. The Wisdom of Stillness. Finding Clarity in Silence. One of the most beautiful aspects of stillness is its ability to transform how you perceive challenges. Instead of rushing to solve every problem immediately, stillness invites you to pause, reflect, and approach difficulties with a calm mind. This deliberate approach often reveals solutions that you might have overlooked in a state of urgency. By allowing yourself the gift of stillness, you gain perspective, seeing the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in minor frustrations. To integrate stillness into your daily life, start with a morning ritual that sets a peaceful tone for your day. Instead of diving straight into tasks or checking your phone, spend a few minutes in silence. Sit by a window, watch the sky brighten, and breathe deeply. Let your thoughts settle naturally, and set an intention for the day rooted in calmness. This gentle beginning not only grounds you, but also trains your mind to approach the day with mindfulness. Similarly, create an evening stillness practice to unwind from the day's demands. Before sleep, take a moment to reflect on what went well and what you learned. Practice letting go of any lingering stress by visualizing it dissolving with each exhale. Allow your mind to transition from activity to rest, preparing yourself for a night of rejuvenation. Ending your day with stillness promotes restful sleep and encourages a peaceful mindset. Many people struggle with guilt about taking time to remain still. In a world that values production, being still can seem like a luxury or even a waste of time, but acknowledge that you need to remain still for your health. Similar to how your body requires sleep to perform at its best, your mind needs peace and quiet to digest information and recover. Accept being still as a self-care practice rather than a way to interfere with your work. Give yourself permission to give your whole attention to uncomplicated tasks. When sipping your morning tea or coffee, pay attention to the taste, scent, and temperature of the cup. Instead of multitasking, focus on the sensory experience itself. Even when performing mundane tasks, you may cultivate a habit of calm by implementing these tiny mindfulness exercises throughout your day. Release yourself from the need to have a solution or explanation at all times. Giving a problem room is sometimes the best way to solve it. Being still does not imply being inactive. Rather, it is a deliberate stop that makes room for insight. When confronted with a dilemma, pause for a moment to sit with the uncertainty and breathe. Have faith that the response will surface when your mind is still enough to hear it. Cultivating stillness also means recognizing when your mind becomes cluttered with worries about the future or regrets from the past. These thoughts can become so habitual that you do not even notice their impact. Regularly ask yourself, is this thought helping or hurting me? If it is not serving your peace, consciously choose to let it go and return to the present moment. Sometimes stillness brings up feelings of loneliness or discomfort, especially if you're not used to being alone with your thoughts. Instead of shying away from this discomfort, welcome it as an opportunity for self-exploration. Sit with the unease, noticing where it resides in your body. Breathe into that space, allowing it to soften with your awareness. Over time, you will find that the discomfort lessens and is replaced by a sense of acceptance. Another practice that enhances stillness is observing your thoughts without labeling them as good or bad. Imagine your mind as a vast sky, with each thought passing through like a cloud. Some clouds may be dark and heavy, while others are light and fleeting. Instead of reacting to each one, simply watch them come and go, knowing that none of them are permanent. This detachment helps you maintain calm, regardless of the content of your thoughts. Seek stillness even in dynamic environments. You do not always need complete silence to experience inner peace. Practice finding calm amid noise, whether it is in a bustling cafe, a busy office, or while commuting. Focus on your breath and let the external sounds blend into the background. By choosing to remain centered regardless of your surroundings, you develop a resilient sense of tranquility. Practice patience as you cultivate stillness. Just as it takes time for sediment to settle in a stirred-up glass of water, your mind also needs time to quiet down. Be gentle with yourself if your thoughts seem louder than usual. Remember that stillness is not about achieving a perfect state, but about allowing yourself to be as you are. The more you practice, the more naturally stillness becomes part of your life. To access your intuition when making decisions, lean into silence. Sit calmly and follow your instincts rather than instantly weighing the advantages and disadvantages. Take note of how your body reacts to each option. Does one feel more expansive or lighter than the others? Your body frequently possesses knowledge that your intellect ignores. Authenticity and alignment with your actual self are fostered when you allow stillness to inform your decisions. Creativity is also fostered by silence. New thoughts come to you naturally when you let your mind relax. Give yourself time to be still and attentive rather than trying to force inspiration. Whether you are walking, sleeping, or just sitting quietly, many creative breakthroughs occur when you are not actively thinking about the issue. Make stillness a frequent component of your practice to embrace this creative flow. In silence, cultivate thankfulness. Think about the blessings in your life when your mind is at ease. Celebrate small pleasures such as a friend's encouraging words, a moment of laughing, or the splendor of the natural world. Having gratitude increases your good energy and helps you maintain a calm frame of mind. Allow your heart to overflow with gratitude for the hardships that helped mold you, as well as the fortunate times that lifted you up. The more you practice stillness, the more resilient you become to life's fluctuations. You learn that peace is not the absence of problems, but the ability to remain centered amid them. This inner stability empowers you to navigate uncertainty with grace, knowing that you are anchored by a calm mind and a steady heart. Embrace stillness as a lifelong practice. It is not about achieving a final state, but about continually returning to your center. Let stillness be your refuge, your source of insight, and your reminder that within you lies a profound well of peace. As you walk through life with this calm awareness, you will find that challenges become less daunting and joy becomes more vibrant. In stillness, you connect with your essence. You remember that beyond your thoughts and emotions lies a quiet strength that sustains you. Allow this awareness to guide you, helping you move through life not with haste, but with purposeful tranquility. In stillness, you find your truest self, a self that is grounded, wise, and infinitely at peace. Chapter 7. The Practice of Presence, Living Fully in the Moment. Being present is not only about being conscious in peaceful situations, it is also crucial in difficult and unpredictable times. Your natural reaction to stress or disagreement is frequently to mentally retreat by reliving the past, coming up with solutions, or imagining the worst-case scenario. But these responses just make people feel more anxious. Instead, work on maintaining your sense of groundedness by paying attention to your breathing, accepting your emotions without passing judgment, and giving yourself permission to be in the present. Grounding activities are one approach to develop presence in trying circumstances. Feel the firm ground beneath you as you stand barefoot on it. Imagine being anchored by roots that reach deep into the ground from your feet. When your mind is disorganized or overloaded, this vision helps you re-establish a connection with your body and the here and now. Being present also means having the guts to face your feelings instead of repressing them. Being present might occasionally involve experiencing grief, rage, or terror without hurrying to make things better or alter the circumstances. Recognize that these feelings are a normal aspect of being human and give yourself permission to process them completely. Remind yourself that it's acceptable to feel them while you sit with them and breathe through them. Being present teaches you that feelings are not foes to be vanquished, but rather indicators that point you in the direction of increased self-awareness. To deepen your practice of presence, reflect on the stories you tell yourself about your life. Often, your mind creates narratives that shape how you perceive reality. For instance, you might tell yourself, "I am always late," or "I never get things right." These stories can become self-fulfilling prophecies, keeping you stuck in patterns of behavior. Practice questioning these narratives. Are they based on facts, or are they simply habitual thoughts? Challenge them by replacing limiting beliefs with affirmations rooted in possibility, such as, "I am working on being more mindful of time," or "I learn and grow through my experiences." Presence also involves releasing the need for constant entertainment or distraction. In moments of boredom, instead of reaching for your phone or filling the silence with noise, practice simply being. Notice how your body feels when you are not occupied. What thoughts surface when you allow yourself to pause? Embrace these quiet moments as opportunities to connect with your inner landscape. Make it a habit to periodically check in with yourself throughout the day. Ask, "Am I present right now?" If not, take a moment to reconnect with your surroundings. Notice the sensations in your body, the quality of your breath, and the environment around you. This simple practice builds your ability to return to the present even amid distractions. Develop the ability to be totally present with people in social settings. It is easy to let your thoughts wander, particularly if the topic of discussion seems repetitious or familiar. Rather, concentrate on listening intently to the emotions that underlie the words being stated, as well as the words themselves. Pay attention to pauses, tone, and body language. Someone feels appreciated, and your bond becomes stronger when you offer them your whole attention. Another aspect of presence is appreciating the commonplace. Life is a collection of little ordinary moments, rather than merely a sequence of significant occasions. The sound of rain, a warm cup of tea, or a kind remark from a friend can provide happiness. By savoring these few moments, you develop a sense of fulfillment independent of accomplishments outside of yourself. Forget about having to plan ahead all the time. Goals are vital, but if you are too preoccupied with the future, you may miss out on the present. Make an effort to set goals without getting caught up in the details. This adaptability lets you stay focused on the here and now while keeping your eyes open to new possibilities. Presence also means embracing uncertainty. Sometimes you may not have clear answers or definitive plans, and that is okay. Practice being comfortable with not knowing, trusting that clarity will come in its own time. Instead of rushing to resolve ambiguity, let yourself be curious about what might unfold. This mindset reduces anxiety by shifting your focus from control to openness. During creative endeavors, practice being fully immersed in the process rather than fixating on the result. Whether you are painting, cooking, or writing, allow yourself to experiment without judging the outcome. Creative presence means letting go of perfectionism and embracing spontaneity. By focusing on the act of creation itself, you open yourself to inspiration that flows naturally rather than forcing it. Presence can also transform how you approach self-care. Instead of treating it as just another task to complete, approach self-care rituals with intention. When you take a bath, feel the warmth of the water, breathe in calming scents, and allow your muscles to relax. When practicing yoga, focus on how your body moves and the rhythm of your breath. Turning routine activities into mindful practices enhances their restorative effects. Mindful speech is another technique for developing presence. Take a moment to think about what you're saying before answering in a conversation. Use language that conveys kindness and clarity, and speak with purpose rather than hurry. By doing this, you can communicate more truthfully and avoid misconceptions. You can let go of comparisons when you are present. Pay attention to your own journey rather than comparing your progress to others. Honor your individual journey while acknowledging that every person's experience is influenced by various obstacles and goals. By letting go of comparison, you make room to value your own development without feeling unworthy. Whether you're switching from one task to another or going through major life changes, practice being present at these times. Rather than hurrying through changes, pause to recognize the change. For example, before beginning your evening routine after work, take a few deep breaths. You may completely finish one task before starting the next with this attentive stop, which preserves continuity rather than a sudden shift. As you continue your journey of presence, remember that it is not about being mindful every moment, but about making a conscious effort to return to the present whenever you notice you have drifted. Each time you bring your awareness back, you strengthen your capacity to live fully. Presence becomes less of an effort and more of a natural state. By practicing presence consistently, you develop a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. You become more attuned to your needs, more compassionate in your interactions, and more resilient in the face of life's uncertainties. Presence teaches you that happiness is not something you chase, but something you cultivate by fully engaging with the life you have right now. Live with intention, breathe with awareness, and move through your days with a sense of purpose. Presence is not a destination, but a practice, a way of being that enriches every aspect of your existence. As you embody presence, you become a source of calm for yourself and others, radiating a peace that comes from living in harmony with the present moment. Epilogue: The Journey Within, a lifelong practice of peace and presence. Inner peace, presence, and acceptance are not destinations but ongoing practices. Life will continue to present challenges, but the true measure of your growth is how gracefully you respond. You have explored the power of acceptance, the wisdom of stillness, and the art of living in the present. Take what resonates from these lessons and integrate them into your life, allowing them to guide your journey. Peace is not something to chase, it's something to nurture from within. Some days it will come naturally, other days you may need to consciously return to your center. Be patient with yourself. Progress is not always linear, but every effort to choose calm over chaos strengthens your ability to live harmoniously. Surround yourself with supportive influences and create rituals that reinforce your commitment to tranquility. Whether through mindful breathing, self-compassion, or simple acts of kindness, let your choices reflect a dedication to inner peace. Celebrate your progress, honor your journey, and give yourself credit for choosing peace even when it's not easy. Your path to inner peace is uniquely yours. Don't compare your progress with others. Instead, focus on how you feel, more balanced, resilient, and open-hearted. Trust that your calm presence not only benefits you, but also positively impacts those around you. Thank you for being part of this journey. If you enjoyed this content and want to explore more topics that inspire peace and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay connected. Your support helps us continue sharing insights to nurture your inner journey.